A very good day to my lecturer and my classmates. My name is Sylvester, and in this video I will be discussing my interpretation of Carroll and Tomlinson's famous quote. Differentiated instruction is not a set of strategies, but a way of thinking about teaching and learning. Today I will be explain what this quote means to me as a future educator and how it connects to the four critical components of differentiated instruction: readiness, interest, learning style, and the learning environment. I will also share a real classroom scenario from a Form 1 English class that I assisted during my school placement. For me, Tomlinson's quote reminds us that differentiated instruction, or DI, is not just a list of techniques, it is a mindset. It is the way a teacher views students and the way we make decisions in the classroom. A teacher who believes in the I will never assume that all students learn the same way, at the same speed, or with the same level of confidence. Instead, we recognize that every student brings a different background, different strengths, and different needs. So the I is not about having the right strategy. It is about thinking responsively, being flexible, and designing a lesson based on what our students truly need. That mindset is the heart of differentiated instruction. The first key component is readiness, which refers to a student's current level of understanding our skill. When I assisted a Form 1 English class, I immediately noticed three groups. A group who were already confident using English, a middle group who needed some guidance, and a struggling group who still had difficulties forming basic sentences. If I use only one worksheet for everyone, I would automatically disadvantage two groups. So for the lesson, I prepared tiered tasks. High readiness student wrote a paragraph, the middle group created simple sentences, and the struggling student matched vocabulary with pictures. The strategy itself was simple, but thinking behind it was differentiated based on readiness. This is why Tomlinson says the I is a way of thinking. I adjusted work to meet them where they were. The second component is interest. In my experience, when students learn through topic they personally enjoy, their motivation increases naturally. During the descriptive reading lesson, I allow them to choose topic based on what they like, such as football, music, pets, or even their favorite place. Just this small amount of choice made a big difference. Students who usually avoid tasks were suddenly engaged because the topic matched to them. The idea here is not just using choice. It is means it is understanding that interests play a huge role in student engagement. A teacher with a DI mindset will always ask, how can I link this lesson to something meaningful for them? The third component is learning style. In the Form 1 class, I had students who were visual, auditory, and kinesthetic learners. So I prepare lesson material in different form: picture and mind map for visual learner, verbal explanation and discussion for auditory learners, and sentence building card activities for kinesthetic learners. The goal is not to label students permanently, but to provide multiple ways to understand a concept. When students have different entry points to learning, they are more confident and more successful. Again, the mindset behind the I is I will not expect every student to learn the same way. The fourth component is the learning environment, which includes the physical space, the emotional climate, and the culture of the classroom. In the Form 1 classroom, I noticed many students were afraid of making mistakes. They whispered, "Teacher, nanti salah," before answering. This showed that the environment was not psychologically safe. So I made it a point to say regularly, "In this classroom, mistakes are allowed. Mistakes show that you are learning." I also changed the seating arrangement to a small group. This made the room feel less formal, more collaborative, and less stressful for weaker students. When students feel safe, they participate more, and the eye will not only in a classroom where students are not afraid to try. Let me describe a complete example where all four the eye components work together. During my placement, I taught a Form 1 descriptive writing lesson titled "A Place I Enjoy." Here is how I apply the eye. Through readiness, I create 3 task levels: paragraph writing in advanced mode, sentence construction middle, vocabulary matching struggling. Interest, I let students choose a place that matches to them, such as their bedroom, the canteen, the football field, or any place in their village. For learning style, I provide image or places, verbal instruction and discussion, hand-on card activities. And for learning environment, I reminded them that making mistakes is okay, and groups were arranged to encourage cooperation. By the end of the lesson, each student produced work according to their ability. Not all students reached the same level, but every student was actively involved. And that, to me, is the true meaning of differentiated instruction. Through this experience, I learned that the eye truly begins in the mindset of the teachers. It requires observation, empathy, and patience. It forces us to look beyond the surface and ask, why is this student struggling? What motivates these students? How can I adjust the lesson so that everyone has access? I realized that the eye is not something we add on, it is a way of respecting student biodiversity. It is a way of acknowledging that every learner deserves a fair opportunity to succeed. As a future educator, I want to create classrooms that are inclusive, flexible, and student-centered. I want my teaching decision to reflect the belief that all students can learn, just not in the same way or at the same pace. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope my explanation has clearly shown how Tomlinson's quote connects to readiness, interest, learning style, and learning environment. Differentiated instruction is not about having many strategies, but about understanding our students and responding to their needs thoughtfully. Thank you.